Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we're going to dive into something that honestly blew my mind a little bit. We're looking at how a 147-year-old tennis tournament is using artificial intelligence to quietly but completely revolutionize the sport. I mean, when you think of Wimbledon, you probably picture pristine grass lawns, strict all-white dress codes, and maybe some strawberries and cream, right? But beneath that highly traditional surface is a massive, incredibly advanced technological operation. It's a pretty stark paradox. On one side, you have the vibe that Wimbledon fiercely protects, this analog, historic charm of tennis in an English garden. But directly contrasting that heritage is the reality of what's actually running the event today, a massive, underground digital AI bunker. So, tournament officials face this super unique challenge. They have to balance the drama and the beauty of a historic event with cutting-edge data analytics, all while keeping the tech totally invisible to the casual fan.
So, here's our roadmap for today. 1. Tradition meets AI. 2. Personalizing the fan experience. 3. The human in the loop. 4. Shielding players from trolls. And 5. Future-proofing through the metaverse. Let's kick things off with Section 1. Tradition meets artificial intelligence.
Now, this digital transformation didn't just happen overnight. Wimbledon has actually been partnered with IBM since way back in 1990. It's been this long collaborative process, evolving from just basic data tracking to deploying some seriously powerful generative AI platforms today. They rolled out early AI features about 10 years ago, but now they're using IBM's Watson X, which is an enterprise AI and data platform. And get this, they actually had to train a large language model called IBM Granite, specifically on the nuances of tennis. Like, they literally had to teach the AI to say ladies and gentlemen singles instead of men's and women's, just to maintain that strict traditional Wimbledon vocabulary.
Moving right along to Section 2, personalizing the fan experience.
Check out this modern challenge for legacy sports brands. On X, the official Wimbledon account has about 4 million followers. That's great, right? But then you look at an individual player like Novak Djokovic, and he's sitting at over double that, with 9.2 million followers. The reality is, fans are increasingly loyal to individual athletes over entire leagues. Wimbledon realized they absolutely had to use AI to hyper-personalize the fan experience. If they want to create an emotional connection, they have to feed fans content that's specifically about their favorite players or, say, their home country's rising stars.
So how do they actually do that? Well, they use a feature called Catch Me Up. First, the system ingests this massive amount of match data, including the predicted likelihood of a player winning. Then, that IBM Granite AI model instantly writes these short-form, engaging narratives. And finally, those personalized stories are pushed directly to fans before, during, and after the matches. It's literally an automated, hyper-personalized sports journalism machine running in real time. But the AI isn't just writing articles. It's also a lightning-fast video editor. This system analyzes these incredible, minute details. It literally listens to the intensity of the crowd's roar. It watches and analyzes the physical gestures of the players on the court, like a fist pump. It even factors in the context of the game, like whether a rally happens during a critical break point or set point. The algorithm takes all of that, assigns an excitement level to every single rally, and automatically cuts together a 2 to 3 minute highlight reel. That package is then instantly handed off to a human editor who makes the final call to hit publish.
Which brings us perfectly to Section 3, the human in the loop.
Because, the machines haven't totally taken over just yet. As Kevin, an IBM partnership executive, points out, it's a process of humans and AI working together to complement the human stories. The tech is strictly a tool. Wimbledon's traditional editorial team is absolutely still writing the main, dramatic stories about the top seeds. The AI just allows them to scale up. It writes the coverage for the wheelchair tournaments, the seniors, the juniors, all these amazing stories that human writers just wouldn't have the time or bandwidth to cover comprehensively. And I love this detail. That human element goes all the way down to the actual data collection. We tend to think of AI as this invisible, all-knowing thing in the cloud, but actually, right now at Wimbledon, there are still real people sitting courtside in little boxes. Sure, they've got advanced sensors tracking the ball's speed and trajectory, but they still need human beings rapidly tapping on keyboards to log specific shot details. They're essentially feeding the raw, unstructured data right into the machine so the AI knows exactly what's unfolding on the grass. Let's shift gears a bit for Section 4, shielding players from trolls.
We really need to talk about the darker side of modern sports and connectivity. Take a look at that number, 32,000. That staggering figure is the amount of harmful, abusive online messages tennis star Naomi Osaka received in the year 2021 alone. Social media has essentially created this direct, unfiltered line between angry, anonymous internet trolls and the athletes on the court.
And unfortunately, it's an industry-wide epidemic. Beyond Osaka's 32,000 messages, Serena Williams got over 18,000, and Novak Djokovic faced over 15,000 that same year. Studies commissioned by Olympic committees have actually shown that about a third of social posts targeting these athletes contain negative content. And look, this isn't just unpleasant. It causes severe psychological distress. It's led some players to delete their apps entirely, and it directly impacts their mental state and their physical performance when they step onto the court.
Human moderators literally cannot keep up with that kind of avalanche. So Wimbledon deployed a system called the threat matrix. It acts like a digital bodyguard. First, the AI scans social media posts targeting the players. Second, it filters out all the automated bot accounts. Third, the algorithm flags actual discriminatory hate and abuse. And finally, it passes the most severe threats over to human experts who then submit that data for police action. It's a proactive digital shield designed to protect the athlete's mental health so they can just focus on playing the sport they love.
Finally, let's zoom out for Section 5, Future-Proofing through the Metaverse.
The overarching strategy here is that Wimbledon isn't just trying to entertain their traditional older fan base anymore. They are actively hunting for entirely new, much younger demographics. Chris, their digital products lead, really hit the nail on the head. He said that if they can spend time where young people are already spending their time, they are future-proofing the brand and future-proofing tennis itself.
Now let's face it, where kids are spending their time is no longer in front of a traditional television set. The days of the whole family gathering around the living room TV to watch a 5-hour match are fading fast. To counter this, Wimbledon has actually built full digital experiences inside gaming platforms like Roblox. They created this whole thing called WimbleWorld. By integrating their brand directly into the metaverse, they're engaging a youth audience from a super early stage, hoping to build a legacy that keeps the tournament relevant for decades to come.
Which leaves us with a pretty massive final thought. Wimbledon is working incredibly hard to maintain that classic illusion of tennis in an English garden. But as AI seamlessly runs the show from an underground bunker, as algorithms dictate our highlight reels, write our customized match previews, and literally catch our online trolls, where exactly do we draw the line between maintaining a historic sporting tradition and embracing a full-on digital simulation? Like, how much of traditional sports will remain purely human in the years to come? It's definitely something to keep in mind the next time you tune in to watch a match. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and as always, keep questioning the data behind the screen.